Welcome to Cause Train. So Catherine and I started Cause Train in 2020, and we're back, and we have some very exciting people that we can't wait for you to meet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Catherine Foster kick off today by telling you a little about herself, and then we'll get right into our first and only today guest interview, Sami Guindi. Catherine, take it over.
Thank you. My name is Catherine Foster, and I'm a professional artist and energy healer, expressive arts coach, and an entrepreneur. And I have a passion about the creative process. To me, being creative is so very important to everybody in life. And it's all about play and being allowed to play. Remember what it was like to be a child and how you played as a child. Well, a lot of times as an adult, we have lost some of that. And so I love helping people find out who they are, what their creativity is, and how they can share their creativity with the world. And my big cause that I have dreamed about for years is a creativity healing center where people can come and have the freedom to feel like they're safe, can experiment with different modalities, can try different things, and be with other people in a community where people are learning together to have fun and develop their creativity. And this space is a sacred space. It's a place where people can play drums, sing, dance, paint, sculpt, whatever they want to, write poetry, and have learning classes from other teachers other than myself too. And it's just it'll be a special place. I'm looking forward to having that happen. So Sami, please tell us something, a little bit about yourself and your experiences.
I'm a senior entrepreneur, and I like to start things and stir things up with new ideas. That's what I've been doing for my entire career. Yeah. I started off with. Yes,
Can you elaborate a little bit more?
Yes, when I was in school, I started a service in Montreal called Safeway Chez-Vous that predated Nez Rouge, which drove revelers home in their own cars using two university students, and one would be in the drinker's car, and the other one would be following. And when we'd bring them to their own driveway, and then leave them home safe and sound, and then collect our other driver, and then we'd go pick up somebody else. So it was a way to actively change the environment, the danger on the roads, and at the same time, because governments on three levels make money with alcohol. They have duties, import duties. They have liquor permits for the bars, and they have provincial sales tax. And so I figured, okay, since we're all making money from this, we might as well at least offer a responsible and civilized alternative to drinking and driving.
Can you tell us a little about the Tectonics Research Group?
Yes, Tectonics Research Group was another idea I had. When an earthquake starts, it has three sets of distinctive waves, the P, the S, and the R, and they all travel at different speeds. The P travels roughly 2 times faster than the S wave, and the S wave travels faster than the R wave, so the P travels faster than the R wave by a factor of 3 times. And as a result, typically earthquakes that occur at 33 kilometers depth are really shallow earthquakes. So, there's always, there are the many earthquakes that occur at 60, 70, 80 miles depth. And therefore, by the time an earthquake reaches the surface, there's already a warning potentially. And that warning is roughly for every 5 miles or 8 kilometers of distance traveled, there's a separation of 1 second. So the idea was to take advantage of this separation, therefore this warning. And at the same time, since computers were becoming quite ubiquitous, you're able now to take those same warnings at a local area and then transmit it at the speed of light using the old trusty computers.
That's fascinating. Presently, talk about your invention and your patented.
Which one? There are Tectonics Research, yes, patented, and my new invention, of course, is patented as well. Yeah.
Right.
So my new invention, I got into it by accident, and you should never let a good accident, prevent you from finding some solution. I built a lovely fence for my wife. She asked me to, and I said, of course, I'll build you the best fence I can possibly build you, sweetheart. And I did. And in Canada, we have 4 seasons, as you know, and so, or maybe you don't, I don't know, but we do. And in between each one of these seasons, there are unbelievable winds because the heat, the hot air is fighting with the cold air fights with the hot air, and before you know it, you have a windstorm or you have very big storms every year without fail. So after I built this lovely storm and had everybody in the neighborhood commenting and you know, saying how beautiful it was, well, it almost got destroyed by a fall windstorm, which was extremely embarrassing for me. So I went upstairs and I designed an instant support for bad weather, for any type of fence or post. And so then I installed it, tested it, built other prototypes until I finally built this unit, and I called it Fence Cleat. It's on my Facebook page. You can see it there, and it's a very straightforward, simple product. I'll bring it up to the screen. It comes apart. It has 2 sections, so you're able to put this on an existing fence without disassembling your fence, and you put them together on either side, perpendicular to the feet of the fence. And once you put these in like this, you slide it until it clicks into position, and you make it click by bending these little notches here with a screwdriver. And when you close it, this is a brand new version unit, so it's not going to click. But as soon as you bend it, it will. Then you put, once you've put this on, you add these little spikes which help you get the post straight. And once the post is straight, then you use these struts and screw them to the fence post, so that now you've got yourself, you know, a leg, a foot, which everybody knows. We're all bipeds, so we all know what feet are. We know how useful they are in a windstorm, and that's what this is. It's essentially that. And then I made extensions that give you, let's say you have an 8-foot fence and you need an extension. Well, these extensions fit in the base as well. And they lock with these little spikes again. So now they're locked. And once they're locked, you do the same thing. You place your stuff in there, and now you've got one large fence cleat. Then I made another product that fits inside. And you can see that on the website. It's almost like an implant. I had a lot of dentists for partners in one of my last companies. So we did these 14-hour flights, and they told me all about their dentistry. so I'm using essentially an implant that goes into the rotted fence post. It's made out of stainless steel, and it wraps around 3 sides of the fence post. You bang it in, and then once it's in, you screw it together to the existing part of the fence post that's remaining, and then you put a fence cleat around that. And guess what? You don't have to disassemble your fence. You don't have to take out your rotted fence post. You could leave it right where it is. It'll mesh itself right into the existing cement that's there, if it was indeed in cement. If it wasn't in cement and it was just sitting in crushed stone, it'll work just fine. And if it was in a spike, well, then you don't even need that. You just use a fence cleat and you're set. So it's an easy, instant way to repair something for old guy like me who doesn't want to go through the trouble of taking apart a whole fence, redoing everything, which you know, my age, that requires a bit of organizing and some advils.
You mentioned in our pre-interview about also telephone poles possible.
Well,
having that for that too.
Yes, the idea. I sent a letter to the Premier of Ontario recently, and he answered me. It's also on my Facebook page for Fence Cleat Poteau Secure. That's what we call it. And he answered me because the math makes sense. We had an engineer. One of our neighbors back here is He's an engineer for a large firm here in Quebec, and they did an engineering report on my product, and they determined that it can withstand, even in the worst type of soil, which is to say sand, it can withstand winds indefinitely of 75 kilometers an hour.
Wow.
Now, of course, if you put some crushed stone around that and improve the soil or have clay, you can, because mine have lasted in 120 kilometer an hour winds all day. So of course, if the soil quality is improved, they can fare much better. Naturally, that doesn't include the ones with the extensions that I just showed you. If you use the extensions, well, it's obviously going to be higher as well. So the math indicates that, you know, those utility poles can definitely be advantaged by such a fence cleat in a scaled version. Naturally, a little bit larger with maybe an 8 gauge material. And so the premier seemed to see the logic and forwarded my message to the Minister of Energy. And all I asked him for was for him to champion our introduction. And he absolutely did that for us. So I'm very impressed with the Premier of Ontario, although I live in Quebec.
And I think you had a couple of other example of uses that this could be used for other than the utility poles.
Well, absolutely. A lot of American households and some rural Canadian households that use those mailboxes that are on the side of roads. And mailboxes can definitely benefit, especially in windy conditions or other type of things, from a fence cleat, which fits any 4x4 post, which includes these mailboxes. Many people have posts, 6x6 posts, which next year we'll be making some fence cleats for 6x6 posts. So again, clotheslines could certainly use these things, and if you invert them upside down, you could use them for other types of support structures, for exterior, structures, or garages, or what do you call those things people have in their backyards? Where you
like an awning, like a
anything.
Yeah, any of those
Yeah,
types of things.
right.
Okay, yeah.
That's it. So it's not just utility poles. It's up to the imagination now of others, not just me and you guys. It's whoever has the imagination to find other uses for it, by all means.
Nice.
It's instant structural support.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
That's awesome.
I think the biggest helper is the energy and the effort saving aspects of this product. I think that's gonna. If you can build a product, and I think I have, they can outlast my lifespan, and you're on the right track. I don't ever want to do that fence again. That's I've done enough fences in my life. I don't need any more. Thank you.
Yes, and I know a lot of people repair like the mailboxes, like you said, all the time too. So fences seems like the time passes and you're having to fix those different rails, or farmers are always out there, fixing things. So this would definitely be a time saver and everything. So.
Well, as you get older, when I was
That
a young,
too.
when I was a younger man, I don't think I would have ever stopped and smelt the roses of this product, because I was too busy doing other bigger, frying bigger fish, right? It's when you get to a certain age, you say, okay, listen, there's a few more things that really bug me. This is one of those things. So to not be bugged anymore by this product,
Yeah.
I hope it takes everybody's annoying. And that's the thing about inventing. If something bugs you, by all means, don't let it bug you. Look at it as a challenge to find a way to solve that thing that's bugging you. If you have the time, you might have to wait until you're 60 to have the time to challenge yourself that way. But by all means, don't let the Zen flow, and be calm and patient enough to find the solutions. They'll come to you. They will.
That's true. Very true. You're brilliant. So, Michele, you had another question too for him, I think.
He had answered it already, so go ahead with yours.
All right. Okay. So, what is your price point on this item?
It's $35. Last year was a bit it was a bit cheaper. I sold quite a few at 25, but ever since this COVID thing, and metal has gone up like crazy, and I'm building them right here in North America. I'm building them right down the street on the south shore of exotic Montreal until the snow. in a place called Granby, Quebec, which is a lovely town. They have horses there, so it's a great place for a Montrealer like me to be able to enjoy a rural area and go the opposite direction as opposed to in town, which is unbelievably annoying these days. I'd love to find a solution for that annoying problem. But they're built there, and they're built with North American steel, which is to say this is the highest quality material. It's 16 gauge galvanized steel. It's brand new rolled steel. It's not recycled material, which has a tendency to have soft spots and hard spots. There's an inconsistency in that type of material. So it's made locally, and it's also quite heavy. So it would be very cool to find some local American manufacturers that want to work with me to bring this product into the American market, so that we wouldn't have to transport this very heavy product across the border, and we can have maybe some cooperation that way. And I think that might be a very good thing for the new year to try to achieve.
I agree. Are you planning also for this to go into Europe and other countries there?
Well, right now I've got my hands, believe it or not, my hands full with Canada. So we've just started, and you know, we're I have to educate people first, explain that, you know, product exists, because a lot of people are thinking, well, you know, my father and my grandfather and my great grandfather said dig a hole, you know, and that's, you know, and go through, you know, and it's true, because we have frost heaving issues which could occur, and so yes, all of these things are true, but we also have to look at the product as being a repair product, which is to say, if you already have an existing fence and it's either rotted because you did do it the way your great grandfather built fences, and of course the wood will rot, guaranteed it will. It's going to take maybe 20 years. With the old treated wood we used to have that had arsenic and copper oxide in it, the new treated wood we have is a lot more environmentally friendly. So it's got like Jergens baby oil on it or something. You know, it's not the same. It's not the same toxic stew that which poisoned our children. So so I don't know how long that's going to last. Is it 8 years? 10 years? In St. Lambert here, they're asking $25,000 to put up a fence.
Wow,
That's a lot of money for a regular.
that's a lot of money. Wow.
That's about the price for a roof.
You
Bless you.
okay?
Okay,
Is there
so
anything else you wanted to share? I mean, I know we kind of, I think you kind of explained a lot, but is there anything else while you're here that you wanted to share with us?
It's not COVID. Ever since I caught that thing, every so often,
yeah,
I'm sure we're all
Coming up. Oh, no.
sorry about that.
Okay.
no problem.
Anything else? I'm not sure.
I think you said a lot. I'm really impressed with what you put together, and it's like how your mind works. And you know, I think you're so right about when there's a problem, find a solution to it, right?
Right. You don't let yourself be angry. You don't
Right.
let yourself get frustrated. You just simply look at it and consider it a challenge.
Yeah.
Right.
Find a solution.
Yeah. Okay, Michele, I'm going to turn it back over to you, and you can tell everybody a little about yourself.
Okay. I'm Michele Barnhouse. I'm sure most of you know that now. When Kath and I first started this project, my cause was actually different. And that's because I hadn't completed it yet. Now I have. So I wanted to create a much needed pet app for pet lovers and owners to use in case of an emergency, which could actually help save their pets. And there are a few events that spawn the idea, and we actually just did an interview, so you can kind of catch up on that as well. It's called 911 Pet Buddy, and I'll be sure to include the website for you. Now, after my following my dream, and it was finally developed, and it's actually on both app stores. So what I'm doing now is I'm supporting my husband for his invention on an engine design. And you'll actually hear about that in a future interview as well. But not only would this engine design, help the environment, it also cut costs for shipping and freight. And it will also be a game changer to the average consumer like you and me. So be on the lookout for that as well. Now, the main financial vehicle that allowed me to complete the pet app is 7K Metals. And we live in a time when even basic necessities have skyrocketed. So we're been insecure about our financial future and the digital dollar and all of that stuff coming. So if you are concerned as well about rising debt and inflation and all of that, and you want to ensure that you're safeguarding your wealth and protecting your future generations, I encourage you to acquire the most tangible and timeless of assets, and that's gold and silver. Now, you may think you cannot afford to do it, and you may even wonder what you'd do with it if it was in your hands, right? But we can help you with that part. But here you have the ability to buy as little or as much as you want to. And you even will get your own debit card so you can do your purchases online and in person. The great part too is, if you so choose, we do have a part-time and a full-time income, and we'll put all the websites and resources on the Facebook page and obviously on the website as well. Did you have something else to share, Sami?
Yeah, in a different lifetime, because I have a whole bunch of inventions.
Right. Well, we'll have you back again. No worries.
I hate cleaning kitty litter boxes. I can't stand that job. I love cats though. And so I invented this thing years and years ago. It's called Catch It.
Oh my gosh.
It cleans out kitty litter boxes. You see, you take it like this out of the packaging, and once you bend it, you have a big cleaner. And I've got a whole bunch of these things left. So if you want, I can send you some of this.
Do you sell those on Amazon or anything?
No. I stopped selling these, 30 years ago. It was just a fun sort of a gag thing because I loved the name. I thought it was funny, and I ran a commercial in Toronto, and I had a whole bunch of people complaining that, oh, my daughter's been saying catch it all afternoon.
Catch it. Got it.
I had other people calling saying, I love the name. Send me 3 because I want the packaging. Is the packaging on it? Does it? And I still have some package. So because I got busy with my earthquake alarm systems, and I put that away, and they kept selling for years. But I just put it away and did other things. So anyways, I thought
that is hilarious.
That's fun.
Yeah, I would take one. Yeah, that's funny.
We'll work it out. I'll send you some.
All right. Well, I do want to thank you so much, Sami, for being our guest today with all the technical issues we had. But now these videos here will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, our page, and also to the website when it's ready. And if you know anyone who has a cause or an invention, please have them visit to apply. And we'll see you next time on Cause Train.
Very good.
Thanks, Sami. Okay. Bye-bye.